Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
What is going on? Welcome to the Believes Crypto Show. My name is Believes Crypto, and we're here to talk about cryptocurrency and everything that's going on in the market. Before we get started, if you would please hit that like button on your way in. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. It helps me out tremendously. Also, if you want to become a member, it's $5 per month. We give you inside details on new listings that we get, anything that comes my way that might be a good runner. We're going to get it wrong every once in a while, but we're going to get it right most of the time. Also, if you want, hit notify me. If you're going to be a supporter, if you're going to be here for the long haul, hit that notify me button so you get notified every time we go live, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Weather notwithstanding, we're here every day, except on the days when we're not. All right, guys. The market has started to move again, but here's the important part. Now, I don't think that this is an actual breakout, to be fair. We're up $74 billion on the day, but as you look around, you see Bitcoin is at 2%, and you see Bonk up 10%, you see Lido up 10%, you see Fetch up 7.5%. Ethereum is up 7%, having a breakout. Doge up 7%, Pengu 12.5%. You're really looking at kind of an altcoin sort of breakout. However, the way that we're sitting right now in the market doesn't make any sense because Bitcoin has so much higher to go. So I think that this capital rotation is a temporary piece, and I think we're going to go so much higher on Bitcoin very, very soon. I think we're going to see a Bitcoin breakout. We're going to see a breakdown again of that altcoin season. Now, we're being faked out at this point. Now, I'm guessing that that is the case, but I'm pretty sure that that's how it's going to play out. Also, Pendle up 14.5% today. You guys know we got some Pendle. We're holding on to that. I'm doing that for somebody in my family, by the way. Rect is up 15% on the day. KTA 25% having a nice move. You know who else had a nice move? Mix, MYX. We were talking about that and looking at that the other day. It had another big move today. Bio up 48.7%. Troll down 18%. Getting cooked right now. Prove down 15%, but Useless up 17%, and Omni up 29%. Zora clocking in at a 20% increase. Overnight, we're getting altcoin breakouts, but I think that, again, I do think that this is an early, this is a move, but I don't think that this is going to be a large move. Also, check this out. Luna, one of the top gainers at 5% on the day. So EVA, 28.8, OSAC, 14. By the way, a lot of meme coins seem to be popping, right? GP 35, 39%. Pepe, and this is Pepe Coin, is up 15%. Cult is up 15.7% on the day. So again, a little bit of a breakout on some of the meme coins. God's up 20%. Serve up 20%. In the red, looking around. Where do we see Devi? I think this is the area for Devi, but I think it might even be that Devi got passed by at this point because it doesn't seem to be moving very much. Not really breaking out at any point. Yeah, it's now in the 600 to 700 range and down on the day. So we had a good run. By the way, look, guys, I got to tell you, for anybody who is asking, I reached out to Tom Anderson from Devi, and I asked for an interview, and I said, I would like to ask you the hard questions that other people are not asking. And he said, no, thank you. I feel like I'm already answering the hard questions on the stream that I do with Austin. Well, if that's the case, I mean, you can't be more specific, right? If that's the case, Why are people continuing to lose faith? Well, the answer to that is because this thing takes time. I understand that. By the way, I maintain myself as one of the biggest holders and supporters of the project. I do think that what they're doing is going to revolutionize cryptocurrency for RWA, for institution. I certainly feel that way. But in managing a crypto, not so much. I think that, look, there's no exchange listings. There's no real marketing. There's nothing that's being done. And by the way, their big announcement is a website. I mean, we can do so much better. And I'm going to skip through the deal here. I'm going to also mute this, but you can see a preview of the new website laid out right here. Let me, as a matter of fact, let me zoom in here just a little bit. You can see it right there. I mean, it looks very nice. There's certainly nothing wrong with what you're seeing right here. I mean, it looks clean. It moves pretty quickly. I'm assuming that this is a scroll that we're doing right here, and that you just kind of scroll to get to each and every one of these places. So really looks good, but nobody's buying cryptos because it has a cute website. So it's nice to see that it's happening, but ultimately what matters here is the price. Now, on a day when we're up $63 billion, you would think that a project would be able to attract some attention during an altcoin bull run. And Devi is up 3% on the day, but it was down just a few minutes ago. That's what we're looking at right here. Look at this big candle right here. We were up to 50 cents just a few short hours ago before dumping one more time. Now, here is where we start zooming, and here's where we start to get an idea of what we're doing, right? So let's zoom out a little bit, and let's say that was too aggressive right there. So we've got this opening sort of channel right there. Now, if that is in fact, if this in fact is the move right here, all right, then what we can say is this and this are incredibly bullish, accompanied by this and this. So I would expect to see another move up into that 70 cent range. Maybe, obviously it'll break down, but again, I think I told you guys, I do expect 70 cents, 75 cents to be coming very, very, very soon. All right. So it does make sense that this would be the move. Now the question is, does it break out above that? That's really what matters, right? So I do think that we're in a position for some positivity, but again, I mean, people have to be able to find your project. People have to be able to figure out who you are, or you're just working in silence. Now, if that's the case, that's fine, by the way. Like if that's the case, that's, what's the old saying? It is what it is. But when you look at this, remember, we were kind of sitting around 10,000 holders 6 months ago. Today, still the same 10,000 holders. So we're not adding new holders. We're not adding new attention. We're not adding, if you go to analytics here, I think there's a spot here to kind of show you the holders. If not, there's this one right here. Back in August, we had 10,105, 10,113. There's, it's just fluctuating, and a bunch of people are just kind of trading on it. There's nobody out here doing anything. So there you have it. Now the question is, will it move at some point soon? My answer to that is, look, unequivocally, I have not changed what I think here, but I have. Look, at least we should recognize that they're not great at running a crypto. All right. However, it doesn't need to be run brilliantly. It just needs to have that pop off moment, right? And then all negativity or anything will be forgotten. But at any rate, just for anybody who wonders, I reached out, I tried, I asked them to come on the show. I asked them to answer some of the hard questions, the crypto questions. And Tom Anderson said, thanks, but no thanks. So hopefully you're going to get your answers from, Austin and Tom on their daily thing. And by the way, there is a Q&A coming. The other big announcement for Devi is not just a website, but they're going to have a Q&A where they're going to not do an open mic. They're going to collate the questions that they want to answer, and then they're going to present them to you. And, I think we can do better than that. Look, I think we can do better than that. We haven't yet, but, we'll see what happens. Now, again, positive breakout. By the way, this right here reminds me of this right here in that context. But we saw this move kind of before. We saw that consolidation. We saw that attempt for a breakout. And that's where we end up getting that breakout. So, when I look at it, I am encouraged that we're going to have another pretty big move. Now, when I look at it from this context, the problem that I have with it is that could be the completion of that third leg of it, because, you've got that move, that move, that move, and you've got this and this so far. So the next move is going to be a little bit muted, it looks like, unless, again, we get some kind of positive incentive, motivation, whatever the case may be. So let's move on from there and look at the fear and greed index at 62 after that move to 54. Again, this looks like to me, look, things look wrong to me right now. The problem that I'm having, and bear me out here, because this is one of those weird things where, when the market's doing well, I like to say, hey, it's doing well. People like that. When the market's doing poorly, people want to hear you say the market's doing poorly. But again, I want to break this down as simply as I can. The Bitcoin fear and greed index, Bitcoin dominance, all the pieces that we need to work exactly right are not working exactly right. Now, I don't know if that means that we're breaking down and we're going to continue this downtrend, but the last time we got something like this right here, okay, again, I'm looking for patterns. And we had this big dump, right? And we had this consolidation. And then the next move right here, we had this big dump, we had this consolidation, and then boom, it spiked up even higher. And that's what I think we're in for right now. And by the way, this is not the only time when you see those. Again, big dump, consolidation, and then a move back up. Big dump, consolidation, another big dump, consolidation, and then a move back up. Ultimately, this is an uptrend. So, the question is, will it break down? And by the way, if it breaks down, let's be very clear. If it breaks down over here, nice. If it breaks down like it broke down here, nice. If it broke, nice. Look, it would be nice to see that breakdown. Here's the problem. Okay, the problem is it needs to break tremendously for altcoin season. But instead of looking like it's going to trend for altcoin season, it looks like it's about to break out one last time and get this big move right here. And that's going to be that blow off top. But we're not there yet, which to me means this has been delayed a little bit. Now, here's the thing. We could see hundreds of billions of dollars entering this market at moments' notices, okay? All we need is one impetus that sends us to just parabolic land, if you will. We just haven't seen it yet. And that is a problem. That is a problem. It's not making sense. Look at that tight consolidation. I mean, again, if I go back here and we're going through history now, there's never been a moment where you've seen that tight a consolidation. I mean, just look at that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy what's happening right now. Even back here, that was not happening. As a matter of fact, I wonder if I pull up, Bollinger Band's going to show this is incredibly tight, despite the fact that for years, and by the way, that just means maturity in the market, by the way. But I mean, look at that market cap, how tight it is. So something is about to happen. What we need to see is we need to see Bitcoin rip even more. And just so you guys understand the principle, let me explain it to you again to make it simple. Everybody holding Bitcoin surges the price of Bitcoin. When they've made a ton of profit, they've made a bunch of money, then they go into and start buying Ethereum and Solana and XRP and all of the altcoins that we want to see break out. Those early breakouts then lead to successful rallies there. That's altcoin season. Ethereum starts to outperform Bitcoin. Ethereum has been, by the way, outperforming Bitcoin for a while now, but it hasn't had that breakout moment. So that to me means that we're in a fake out. Or at least we're recognizing, or we should be recognizing that it looks like a fake out. So Bitcoin dominance probably about to break out one more time. That does not mean, by the way, that if Bitcoin breaks out to 130,000, that Ethereum won't break out to 4,500. It just means that that the breakout, there's a stage to it. All right. That's it. There's a stage to it. And I don't think that we're in altcoin season, but we could get a mini season or something like that. Now, that's not going to cascade down to everything that you would like to see for that incredible blow off, but we'll get some nice gains out of it. So if you've accumulated and if you bought the bottom and you made that money on the bottom, then it's going to happen for you. But back to the chart here, I feel like we're headed up so much higher that we need that in order for the liquidity to break off and come back down. All right. The liquidity is going to have to break off. People are going to have to buy Bitcoin, and which has happened for 4 years. I don't know what part Derek's saying here, but the theory is no longer valid. Every theory is no longer valid until the theory happens, and then it's valid. And then we all do this every single time. We keep making up new rules because we think that we're at the forefront of investment thesis, and we figured it out. We know what's happening. But if it happens before, guess what? It continues to happen, and it happens again. This is just an example, in my opinion, of Bitcoin being adopted, mass adopted, but the money hasn't been made on Bitcoin yet, such that people are fat on the hog, fed well, and ready to start to do some exploratory risk-based asset management where they get into altcoins and then all the way down into meme coins. The meme coins do pop off a little bit, the bigger ones a little bit faster, but again, this is what I think is going to happen. And every time I think it's different, they prove me wrong. Okay. The only thing different about this rally is that Bitcoin has matured. That's the only difference in this entire market. Bitcoin is now a matured asset, whereas before it was just like the rest of this startup. So we've had 4 years since the last bull run. And in that 4 years, Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin acceptance, Bitcoin everything has gone to the moon. And by the way, if you're wondering, look at that. This is Bitcoin right now. Okay. Bitcoin has gone to the moon. All right. It's doubled the last all-time high. It's pushed its way and pushed its way and pushed its way while the rest of the market has not. While the rest of the market has done worse, while the rest of the market has tanked, Bitcoin has continued to succeed. It is now a mature asset. That's really what's going on here and why it's taking longer, because people are finding, guess what? They like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a secure and safe asset that's making all of the right moves and all of the right plays for people. And those people, by the way, those are what you would call institution, I guess. So this is the asset class right now, but all of the asset class is not really in the game yet. So Bitcoin on exchanges pumped a couple days ago, but not by much, a little bit. And now it looks like it's reversing. The reason for that is Bitcoin ETF. Bitcoin ETF had $92 million in inflows. So we're back in the green for a day. But guess what? Ethereum still in the green. Only had 2 outflow days, but had a nice little inflow yesterday of 35 million. It's keeping up with Bitcoin, even on bad days or bad weeks. So I just want to point out here that we will have a big run here from Ethereum. Ethereum is consolidating for that moment. Again, I say the reason that Ethereum will take off is going to be the Ethereum ETF staking protocol. The allowance of staking in the Ethereum ETFs it'll be a paradigm shift in that. I think is the blow off to altcoin season, or that's the start to altcoin season. And by the way, I don't mean to say that day is where we break out. Like anything and everything, when that announcement is made. And by the way, there's a lot of people waiting for that announcement, a lot of people who know that announcement is going to happen. When that announcement does happen, then what's going to happen next is going to be an absolute breakout. You know what? We're going to move over here. Nope. Damn, I still got to reset my camera angles. God damn it. We're still going to have a breakout. It's just, it's taking a little time. It's taking a little time. So Quit crying. I'm not crying. You're crying. You're crying crier. All right. So yesterday I showed you this. This was the RSIs. I was showing you how heated and overheated that it might be. And if you guys remember, we were looking at Fartcoin down here. We were looking at Virtual down here. We were looking at Bio down here. When we go look at the market right now, look at this. Fartcoin now up 6% on the day. Mix, by the way, Mix broke out, was up 40% earlier today, came back down to earth. But anybody who got in here at that 4-cent level or that 5-cent level or that 6-cent level, guys, you had an incredible breakout here. Fantastic opportunity for you. Early May launch breakout. By the way, not huge in market cap, but still decent in market cap. So, big move there. Also, Orca broke out 13% on the day. Only really matters if you bought the dip. Electroneum, however, check this out. We talked about Electroneum. I told you that we're going to get a break to that upside. We're looking for a break above, and we got the break above multiple times so far, gone into this right there twice now to break it out. It's come back down. Now it looks like it's ready for that next break, and that next move is going to be up here, and maybe if it gets lucky, all the way back up to a penny pretty quickly. And that's a 4x from where it is right now. So Electroneum, if you haven't already, blockchain technology, take advantage of it. Could be the next big runner. Looks like it wants to break. Again, looks like it wants to break out. Now, we could also say the same thing, by the way, about DevE, in that it had those runs over there twice into that 70-cent range. So it's looking kind of like that, but we're looking at a more bullish scenario because it's pumping today as opposed to DevE. So maybe, just maybe, we'll see some kind of big move. Also, here are meme coins. This is what's going on in the market over here. Buddy is up 29% on the day, breaking out again. Buddy now the leader on CC, I think. Let me make sure. Yeah, Buddy is now the leader at 184,000 market cap. CCR rewards 8781, up 10.5%. Bonk is up 9%. By the way, guys, if you listened to me the other day when I told you we bought some Bonk, we were going to hold on to Bonk for a little bit because why? Because what was it? That Bonk Fun thing was out there popping off. So we bought some Bonk, and now we're just kind of waiting to see what happens with it, but we're up 10% on the day. Rocky is up 8% on the day. API3 up 6% on the day. TARS AI 4.5%. Volt up 4%. Definity is up 3.84%. O'Hare 2.77%. Blocky up 2%. Mantra treading dead even on the day. Again, another one where, I want to see that kind of breakout moment. This is the comeback season, if you will. And, haven't seen it yet, but we saw a test of 39 cents a couple days ago. Then we got rejected into it. Now there should be another run back up to 40 cents coming up, bang, just before you know it, a 50% increase, something like that, just another test. And then we'll see probably another sell-off at that point. And then from there, we'll find out, just like DevE, just like Electroneum, just like we were looking at, you get two big tests over there. And then that final test is where you're going to find out whether you have the exit momentum to break out and find a new level. And by the way, the new level from there would look like, let's do this. The next level after that is going to be, next level after that's gonna be 50 cents. So after that move to 37, 38, 40 cents, after that move, the next big move is gonna be 50 cents and then 65 cents and then 80 cents. So there are levels to this shit, as they say. So I would predict that we're gonna see a test again. We've seen that one test right there into that range. Now, if I put it on the by the way, if I put it on the hourly, you're gonna see it look a little bit different. You're going to see like there was a secondary little pop there. That's not a retest. So I wouldn't put too much into the two candles at that point. I would be looking for another test up here. Didn't get that test right there on the breakout. Just got to 30 cents and then broke back down. Again, we're looking for that reversal, and you have to ask yourself, are you bullish yet? And when we zoom like that, it looks like we're minting higher lows. So if we're minting higher lows, then it should be only a matter of time before another test comes. Another test comes. By the way, that just looks attractive to me right there. So we could break above into 50 cents, by the way. Boom, 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 boom. So it could be a nice little breakout move. Now, my DCA is down to 36 cents, so I'm still down a little bit, but I'm not really concerned. Even at 40 cents, it wasn't worth taking the profit on. And I just got informed that Floki got listed on Robinhood, which puts Floki in. Let's see, what's Floki look like? That was an old Fibonacci. Let's break that out. Let's grab some pivot here. All right, so we'll call that there to there. Perfect time to accumulate some Floki. Perfect time for an accumulation. Would have been yesterday, really, at that 98 level that it looks like it hit just a short while ago. That usually means that there's going to be a test up to the 236, by the way. So I would expect to see a move from Floki at least up to this level, and then perhaps a breakout if that Robinhood listing is moving the audience, if you will. And if that's the case, then a move up into the golden ratio could be on tap, which would be a test of the all-time high, previous all-time high, very close to it, very close to the previous all-time high. So there is some opportunity right there. And by the way, if you bought dips every time on Floki, you are making out like a fucking bandit, okay? Remember, when this first launch over here happened, way down here, then you got that big move. Then you've had this consolidation right here. You got that big move. Then you got this consolidation over here. Then you got that big move. Then you got this consolidation and that big move. You got this consolidation. You got that big move. So now what I would say is, in looking at it from this context, you know, all of this right here happening here, then you got the little fake out right here. Maybe you got some consolidation here, but it is time probably for a breakout. And be testing the all-time high again on Floki. If you held Floki and you weren't, and by the way, they had their share of scammers over the years, but they have continued to build and build and build. And it's only a matter of time before Elon puts out another Floki tweet, and then it starts to go absolutely crazy one more time. Again, a test of that all-time high up there probably coming. So shout out to anybody still holding Floki. Make sure you buy yourself some CC coin. CC coin look, guys, it is my belief that this entire ecosystem is going to be one of the next big things in crypto. And by the way, it doesn't need to have a huge market cap. I just want to zoom out here and show you guys that if you could imagine CC coin, which is currently at 164,000 market cap, moving up into a 10 million market cap, then, you know, you're really talking about almost 100x. It'd be about 60x, I want to say, from where it is right now. 60 times the volume, 60 times the everything. That would make this a very big deal. Like, that would make CC coin an incredible opportunity. Bud as well. Don't forget Bud, because Bud's still on that list, having a big run as well. And Bud is 184,000. So, you know, if you just consider Bud in the same fashion, by the way, as soon as I start talking about it, somebody sells. Are you kidding me? No, it had a nice pump, and that's what it led to. That led to the little dump. So it just rolled off, I guess, at 9 o'clock or 9:30. So it must be doing it every half hour. So it's still at 18.49. The price hasn't changed. The only thing that's changed is the amount of time. So again, ultimately, Buddy still having a nice little run. But again, what if that goes to 10 million? What if that, because it's a little bit higher, because it's about 10% higher, what if it goes to 11 million, 12 million market cap? Again, that's another 60 or 70x that you'd be looking at on every single one of these. And then that doesn't even include the blockchain beauties, which again, I think will at some point absolutely take off. Everybody loves beautiful women, especially on the blockchain. So it's only a matter of time before some of these things get discovered. And to be fair, when you look at this, you know, something like blockchain beauties and anything else in this ecosystem, you have, but don't forget TaskHub, which, by the way, when you're talking about TaskHub, it's a new platform that's going to allow adult content, YouTube media type content. You're going to be able to help monetize yourself along the way. And I think that that's probably going to matter quite a bit. And we're going to get over here now. Powell, not Jerome Powell, but Powell. All right. So, TaskHub going to give you that opportunity that you've been looking for monetizing your media creation, et cetera, et cetera. It's a nice opportunity. So, CC Rewards, CC Cash, all these different things. And by the way, don't forget, you hold some Buddy, you hold some CC Cash, you're earning Solana, you're earning CC Coin. I'm earning every single day CC Coin. I get like new CC Coin drops like all the time in my wallet, or at least I was. Let me go back and see if I'm still getting all of those drops, because I think that I am, but I rarely pay attention. Yes. Boom, 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 boom. I've been getting them nonstop, actually. Yeah, so, and Solana. So I'm continuing to receive my rewards. So shout out to the CC team for making it real, baby. All right, so, all right, I think that's, let's go look at one of those little crazy things, by the way, right here. Again, I say this thing makes me, just infuriates me that BSC, there it is. You see it, right? But we're still with this volume. We're still with this volume. We're still with this volume. We're still with this volume and this and this and this and this and this. But all of a sudden, some reason, $5 billion disappears from this one place. It's a fucking scam, guys. I'm telling you, Binance is not good for you. It is a goddamn scam. Bull market peak indicators. I feel the same way about Coinbase, by the way. I'm not saying that anyone's better. Bull market peak indicators, 0 of 30 hit, meaning continue to hodl, and we're going to have a big move. So that's going to be it for the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being a supporter. Again, the easiest thing that you can do if you are interested in being a supporter of this channel, it is very, very, very simple. Come over here, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notify bell to be notified. If you don't want to be notified, if you don't want me to, by the way, let me give you some inside tips on YouTube. If you support me and you hit that notify button, please engage with the content. If you like me, but you don't want to be notified when I put out a video, if you don't want to, if you don't want to do any of that, then don't hit the notify button. Just come look me up whenever. Because what happens is when people get that notify button in YouTube algorithm, they're making a commitment, and that commitment is to buy. Buy. Oh my God! And their commitment is to watch that video. So if I send out a notification and you guys don't watch the video dies. So if I want to build this channel, then I need an army of people who are willing to engage with the content, or if you're not willing to engage with the content, don't hit the notify button. Or just when it gets pushed out, pay attention to it. It helps me out tremendously. Hit the like button when you come in, watch the videos and all of that kind of stuff. And why in the show? Because I got to go this morning. I got some stuff to do. I just didn't want to point that out. I got to go to the doctor. Look, guys, this is very personal for me, but I need to go see a doctor because for some reason I've added like 4 inches to the penis, and I just too gigantic. It's too gigantic. So I'm going to see about maybe, chopping off a few inches so that I look like a normal man instead of a god. So anyway, I'm going to go check that out and see what happens there. So it's not financial advice. I'm looking for the good life, good life.